of Muse and Men.
Hey, welcome to Of Muse and Men, episode 4. I'm Darian, and here's my co-host
Andy. Hello there.
And today we have a special guest, Sean Loeffler, professional fighter, friend, longtime friend.
Longtime friend. Known you forever.
Ex-rascal and musician, and
that's right.
Overall, channeled it into something hopefully meaningful.
Renaissance man.
Tell us a little bit about what you're doing before we start, Sean.
What I'm doing currently, like right now, with
Give
the
us
rock
a little,
star
like,
in my
super
hand.
shortened, abbreviated history
In my life. Right now, I own a gym called The Compound, Mixed Martial Arts and Fitness in Oceanside. It's like one of the biggest MMA gyms in San Diego County. So we have a ton of guys fighting out of there because I've got a management company called Manufactured Fighting Factions. So,
that's manufactured? That's cool.
Yeah, it's like a play on words with manufactured. Andy just got it.
Yeah,
that's
I was just going to say.
He's just like, he thought about it. And he's like,
He's not subtle. Like, you can tell what's going on in his brain.
Yeah. Look at him.
That's basically the only reason why he's on here.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's comic relief for me.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. So basically just getting all these fighters ready with sponsorship and management and their fights and whatnot, because in fighting, you know, mixed martial arts, you can only fight for so long. So you need to have something else to leverage yourself with afterwards. So I kind of set myself up for success by opening a couple of gyms and managing fighters. And it's going really good, but it's also really time consuming. And then I'm getting back into training after my injury in the last UFC.
That was the most insane story I've ever heard. Tell us about the setup and your injury.
I mean, the short version is I'm walking down to the cage, like we're live, you know, we're on Fox or whatever. There's
after you've trained for like however insanely long, crazy training.
Yeah, we're live on TV and walking down to the cage, and the mats were set up a little bit weird, you know, with cement in between two warm up mats, and I was kind of walking, and I did a couple of squats, and then I stepped and kind of jumped up, and then my foot just rolled completely over. My foot stayed on the ground, actually, but my knee hit the ground.
Like an ankle twist thing?
No, it was more like, imagine if your foot is still flat on the ground, but then your knee touches the ground to the outside of your foot. Just like,
oh, my.
Yeah. You
That's
know?
like one of those agony of defeat injuries or something.
And so, and the camera saw it, and I knew it was pretty fucked up when, like, the cameraman's, like holding his camera on it, but then looking to the side, going like, "What the fuck?" I tried, I knew it was bad when all the cameramen around were like taking pictures and cameras. You gotta be fucking kidding me! And then I look down, it's just huge, and I'm just like, "Oh, there's a fucking coconut on my foot."
I saw your foot when it was like, it looked like a softball in your foot.
Yeah, it was gnarly. And so then they rushed me right into surgery, and I've had 6 surgeries. So,
this is like instantly right before the fight, like what, 5 minutes before you're supposed to fight?
There's a clock, because I'm looking up, and it was like 2:46.
Oh,
I was like, I'm supposed to be fighting in the cage. And I'm like, fuck. And I'm just thinking about the money, you know? Like,
yeah.
I'm just like,
totally.
fuck.
And the money invested, money and time you invested going up to that.
Yeah, and I would have fucked that dude up. So it was just like a lost opportunity. So I'm just getting back into things. UFC wants me to fight sometime after late May.
Killer, dude.
But I would like to get back into things a little bit sooner. So it'd be nice to get like what you would call a tune-up fight, to get ring rust off in a different organization.
Is that like are the tune-up fights all the fights that Rocky used to fight before he got to get shot?
Yeah, like tune-up fights is every fight that, you know, Floyd Mayweather's fought. Yeah. No, it's like there's that guy outside 7-Eleven. I go, bro, I can get you like $150 if you can, like, you know, put on these gloves right now. And like, then no, they're not that bad, but they're journeyman fighters.
So since you're managing fighters now, I got a question for you.
Yeah,
are fighters as much bitches as musicians?
Oh, dude, I don't know. It's it's like it's hard to say. Like it's like worse in a way, because they bitch about stuff that like is so hypocritical to their personality. Like you say you're a fighter,
right? Yeah,
and then they're like, "Oh, but dude, that guy's got like 15 fights, and I got 11." Like
that's
dude,
like,
and I'm like looking at the guy, going like, "Bro, you're a fighter." Like.
That's like all these metal bands like backstage and going, dude, I ordered English breakfast tea.
Yeah, you know,
they gave me Earl Grey.
And you're looking at the guy like, are you kidding me? Like, how many guys have the exact same record who are the same height as you? That, I'm sorry, he's left-handed, bro. I guess you can't fight him. So there's ups and downs. And then the worst thing about the MMA industry is these fucking companies, these new fucking clothing companies or whatever that come in and just try and make a buck. And They're like, let's put a fucking skull and a flame
And
on
a
a
bird
t-shirt
and a
and
tree.
and like then people will buy it and think it's hardcore. And like I have to deal with those fucking guys.
I think
every
we
day.
better get to some stories before I dig myself in deeper and somebody just clocks me on the street.
Yeah.
Okay. You've heard how it works, right, Sean? You know what's up. We're just gonna get into some stories and we'll shoot you some. I'll get your input on it. How about that?
I'll get my input. Andy's
Okay.
done a lot of talking so far.
Yeah,
yeah.
yes.
That's how he rolls. So I'll start the first story because I kind of trip out on this. It used to bother me, but it doesn't as much anymore. You know when you shop in Christmas season and there's like the Salvation Army guy ringing his bell?
Yeah.
Well, I guess they got like the bell's too loud or something.
Okay.
So I mean,
could see that though.
woman calls cops on Salvation Army workers for ringing bells. I mean, that's like, I don't get it. Why you call the cops on somebody for ringing a bell?
Here's the deal. They have nothing better to do. You know the people.
Yeah, that's usually the case. I think those are the people that Andy and I always talk about. Where let's have a softball game and we'll give 2 trophies out at the end. One for the first winning team and one for the second winning team.
Yeah.
Because there's no losers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of trippy. So now I guess it's they're looking for a quieter bell.
I don't think
How
they
do you
should.
make a
I don't
bell
think they should
quieter?
use. I don't think they should use a bell. I think they should use something else.
Taser.
Rape whistle.
Taser.
Yeah, something a little bit more abrasive.
Donate or
Well, I mean, I thought it was illegal. I mean, seriously, I thought it was illegal to like solicit and like beg for money outside places. But then they
no, I don't think so because there's this chick that's been here for 15 years asking me for like $1 outside the 99-cent store.
but Andy,
You know that girl.
I do.
But,
I do.
But Andy's wife's a good chick, and we don't need to bring her.
Yeah, that's not. They're not married.
No, I think that's ridiculous for the bell. But the bell is annoying, and the Santa Claus
It is
guys
annoying,
are
but I
They're
mean,
all
you know,
annoying.
this is part of the whole thing. I know that you're into this kind of thing, but some shit is just fucking annoying. You just got to move on. I mean, you can't just legislate everything out of existence because it offends you or annoys you.
Here's the thing, though.
That is the point.
It's for
I think.
It's for charity, and most charities are fucking annoying as it is. Like
Yeah,
I'm
but at
annoyed.
least- you know what I'd like about that dude though? He doesn't come up to me and accost
That's what
me.
I was gonna say. I
I
would
mean,
say
a Vaughn's employee is more irritating to me because they go, "Hey, do you want to donate to multiple sclerosis, whatever?"
here's the thing, and I'm gonna relate it to something that happened to me yesterday. All right, no, it was 2 days
Not
ago.
important.
It is important. Let me tell a fucking
Not
story.
important.
So at my door was what religion sells you Bibles? They come to your door and knock on your door. What are those?
Jehovah's Witness, maybe.
Okay, cool. So
I don't know.
though it's the same thing as the guy with the bell, but worse. They're coming to my door
Yeah.
trying to get me to give donations.
I usually let him in and start talking to him like about Satanism.
Yeah, no, but the worst, the worst part for me is that it made me feel like a piece of shit because I'm a big dude covered
Yeah,
in
but-
tattoos with tattoos on my head.
No,
so
that-
no, so
that's
I
good, yeah.
no, it's lame
Totally.
because I answered the door like with my shirt off. I was like, "What's up?" And then they're like, "Never mind," and then they walked away. And I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like maybe I would have given you money for a Bible,
that's
but
cool.
so it totally hurt my feelings. But I'd rather have the guy with the bell than people coming up to me. So
Yeah,
it depends what you want to
just
tolerate.
let them ring their damn bell.
Ring the bell. Move on.
Next story. I think this story you'll like better. Germany to ban sex with animals.
What?
I guess it was totally
What?
cool to do that before. Just something they're just getting around to right now.
This is the problem right now.
Is it all animals?
Well, I'll read the story.
Is it all animals?
Check it
'Cause
out.
if it's all animals, then it
Germany's
does
about to
affect
ban sex with animals, including the pimping of farm animals for sex. So a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money
This
on
is
this
a real.
one.
Yeah, that sucks.
The German government is about to reintroduce a ban on bestiality after pressure from animal welfare groups.
Well, now all I knew
I
is
mean,
that
this is getting weird, man.
there was some
kidding.
German weirdos.
Wait, check
before.
this out. Okay, whatever German newspaper reports that the governing coalition are soon to amend the country's Animal Welfare Act to make sex with animals punishable with a fine of up to $31,000. Bestiality was legalized in Germany in 1969. The
Legalized
summer
in
of
69?
love. I guess
What?
over there is the summer of animal love.
Yeah. Yeah, summer of bestiality. Fuck.
Dude, that is weird. It's also the same year gay sex was also moved. So this is even weird too, because now you're
So,
equating
like-
gay sex to animal
That's
sex.
what I say. So like,
Bestiality.
all these
It's
people
weird.
are gonna look for something else to fuck now.
Dude, this is
I would say that is a law that needed to take place a couple.
But the
couple of
trippy thing is they
centuries ago.
removed it. It was illegal, and then they said, "Okay, we're gonna let people go for it."
I want to know who the guy was that made the law in 1969.
I know.
That went to
They
like,
should post his
it's,
picture.
It's like, do you care if he fucks a sheep? And they are like, you know what? go for it. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, because somebody had to have brought that up.
Obviously, yeah. It was like some kind of issue.
Yeah,
It
and
was
like
brought
people,
forth
and
in
people,
front of
and,
and they
in
said,
Germany,
well, yeah,
and
you
in
know,
Germany,
let him do
more
what he
than
wants.
half of the people said like fucking animals. It's a fucking all right
It's
thing.
totally happening.
Yeah, fuck. And I'm like mostly
Andy,
German.
are you like on Facebook or something?
No,
What the hell
I'm
are you
reading the
doing?
bottom of the story. It says lobbyist Michael Keok. He lives with his dog Cassie. Told the newspaper that there were more than 100,000 zoophiles
Yeah.
in Germany. And he says mere
Zoophiles.
morals have no place in law.
I mean, he does
He
fuck
does.
his dog.
He said he's worried that if
Literally.
the law took effect, the authorities would try
Crazy.
to take away
Why would
his
it
dog.
say who lives with his dog Cassie?
I
That
have
is the weirdest.
Okay.
It says the guy's name, lobbyist Michael Keok,
Cock.
who lives with his dog Cassie. That is like, what kind of a description is that?
I think there's like
That's
there's
insanity.
like 3 weird things about that. Like the first weird thing is his last
they're
name's-
German.
Yeah, his last name is Cock. However, whatever fucking.
I mean,
little-
don't Germans have like a pretty insanely huge reputation for out there porn? I mean,
I'm not into
So,
German
I mean,
porn, but
maybe this is when it all started, 1969.
he obviously makes love to his dog Cassie.
Not obviously.
Cassie, right?
It's pretty
Andy,
clear.
do you agree
It's
with me
pretty
that he
clear.
makes?
So weird. I'm moving on to the next story. That's just too weird. But
Hey,
let's not
on
go
a
very
side-
far.
On
Here's
a side
Belgian.
note,
No,
can you
here's
send me that the picture of Cassie to my Facebook?
it's not on there. Check
Just
it
a bunch
out.
of sheep.
Belgian. We're staying in that same zone.
Yeah.
Discovers his wife used to be a man after
Oh
19
my
years.
goodness. What do you do?
Andy, why don't you read that one?
A Belgian man is seeking to have his marriage annulled after discovering
say
that
so.
his Indonesian wife of 19 years had been born a man. The only man...
The trippy thing though is keep in mind 19 years. I mean, we're not trying to like rip on people if they go, I was born the wrong gender or whatever. But
Was there a sex
how do
change?
you,
Was there a
like-
sex change? Was there a sex change?
Assuming.
obviously, unless it was magic or witchcraft,
I don't really know how that process works. So,
it's involved. Put it that way.
It's involved.
do they make a vagina?
They do all kinds of stuff.
Is that illegal? Is that
No, it's
what
not
is that-
illegal. It's
it's
still,
like
it's going on probably right now. somewhere.
no, I'm not saying the sex change. I'm saying then to marry a guy and not
See,
see that
that's
sex
what
change.
that's what.
To me, that's called entrapment.
Yeah, that should be some. There should be some kind of
Disclosure.
disclosure.
Something.
when
Exactly.
when
has to be.
Maybe they might have to, since everything's changing now. They might have to start amending marriage licenses to say, "I agree to disclose my original gender or whatever."
I mean, that's a fuck
Or
situation
they
for
can
that
be
guy.
like France. France is taking off gender. You know, like on the birth certificate,
Yeah.
it doesn't say mother and father anymore. It says parent 1 and parent 2.
Yep.
Jesus. Well,
So that might be the
and
next step.
it was Indonesian, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't they have sideways vaginas?
I guess that's an option. I think you pay extra.
Like, if they made it sideways too, that would make it even more confusing for the guy. So I see.
Sean's relatively sheltered, you know. He doesn't. He's from Pedro or something like that. So
How bummed are you if this guy is you? Jan is his name.
very.
Why are
Mary-
you accusing me of being that guy? That's weird.
Go ahead. Talk in the mic if you can.
He married Monica, his family's former AU pair, in 1993,
Au
despite
pair or something like
legal difficulties raised by the Belgian immigration authorities. It was only in recent weeks that he discovered that his wife had originally been born a man and had undergone a sex change. I feel I've been assaulted.
Assaulted or insulted?
Probably both, but it says assaulted.
The mic is pointing at your cheek, so I can't really
I
tell
know.
what you're saying.
It says assaulted.
Okay. Cool.
Wait, he said insulted, right?
He has to be a little of both. I mean, I would cry.
That would be your reaction.
What do you
That
do?
was so not surprising. I don't know why. That's like
What would
Yeah.
you do?
kind of obvious disclosure.
What would you do? 19 years, you're already in it for the long haul.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Did they have kids or something?
Doesn't
Well,
no,
I
you
guess that
can't
would
have.
be-
That's a dumb question.
No, what do you mean? She already
She can't.
She
have
already
kids.
deceived him. She can just go. Hey, I need a kid.
She puts a fucking pillow
I got a
under
pillow.
her shirt
Yeah,
for 9
exactly.
months and then adopts
9
a
months
fucking
later,
half-breed.
she goes to Africa and
Yeah.
goes, "I need a kid."
That's
Oh,
like
here's-
Madonna does.
Here we go. It says,
yeah, that's recent. Terry, did they have kids? It's
I mean,
like,
come on, that'd be easy, Sean. Get a little imagination. Okay, I'm killing that story. Here's the one that Sean's gonna really dig. Worker punctured gas line causing strip club explosion.
oh, I don't dig that at all. That's terrible.
Authorities in Western Massachusetts announced on Saturday that a human error was to blame for a blast that leveled a strip club. damaging 42 buildings
What?
and injuring 21 people in Springfield's entertainment district. Dude, 42 buildings.
I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but
I'm totally
like,
on. I know what you're going to say, and I'm backing it.
dude, like people are crazy. And this is serious. This is not even like
Yeah,
Sean
this
Loeffler
could
joking
be
around.
like-
Like people get pissed about strip clubs and abortion clinics and crazy shit nowadays.
Yeah.
And they fucking bomb places and blow places like that all the time. Like crazy ex-boyfriend, you're not going to
Or
fucking
it's just like some kind of like super like ultra conservative terrorist.
or if maybe
Or
they
just
were
an idiot that works for the gas company. Could be.
or somebody. I don't think
Idiot that
so.
works-
I don't
You're
think
not
so.
backing it? I think that could be a cover-up, man.
The only reason it really affects me is because I feel like anything that involves the destruction of a strip club is an inside job because most people wouldn't
I
want
thought you
that
were
to
going to say
happen.
inside joke.
No.
It almost sounds like you made it up.
Somebody blew gas and a strip club fell down.
They said, we've determined that human error as opposed to fault in the gas infrastructure is what caused the explosion.
Conspiracy.
So, yeah, I think it sounds like kind of a made-up story.
Yep.
I think, but, dude, how gnarly is it that 42 buildings were damaged around it?
It had to have
That's
flown.
pretty
It had to
insane.
have gone up the pipe, right? I mean, there was a gas leak,
Or,
That's what
or
usually
it was
happens
just
at the
so
strip club.
insanely powerful,
right?
like, you know,
Leaking for a while or something.
or like, you know, with Sean's theory, they used a lot of explosives in a U-Haul truck.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of
That was
fertilizer.
That was my theory, by the way. That's what I said. David
Yeah.
Koresh. Yeah.
No, not that dude.
Who else?
David Koresh, that's
David-
Waco.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He did the fertilizer, right?
McVeigh.
That was
you're talking
McVeigh.
about.
Timothy McVeigh, the
that guy
Unabomber.
was nut. You should see the documentary about that guy. He was a nutball
Really?
for sure.
But he's smart.
Yeah, well,
Not really.
Not really.
Not really. I think he like went to the U-Haul thing and signed his own name and
Yep.
stuff. That's not.
That's how they
smart.
caught him.
Yeah, that's not that smart.
No.
Okay, so here you go. Check this out. You know, Caregiver who served poisonous mushrooms is banned. Like, have you heard
What?
about this?
No.
What?
They made mushroom soup, but they just picked the mushrooms out of their backyard,
That's awesome.
and like people died.
Old people?
Yeah. I mean, they're kind of in line to die, but still, that's not
You
cool
ever
because their
you ever
families.
seen
don't.
your home?
line to die.
All right.
A California woman who served poisonous mushrooms to residents of an elder care home has been barred for life from working in such facilities. I mean, she wasn't like, you know, nothing really happened to her. She just can't work with old
She
people
just-
anymore.
Which-
After 4 people died.
What?
Yeah.
Salmonella.
Is she
or
going to
some
jail?
Crazy fungus.
Is she going to jail?
Fungus,
I mean,
viral.
no. It's just,
No, she's not
that's
going to
what's
jail.
gnarly. She's just banned from working with old people.
No
All she has
charges.
to say is like,
What's up with that?
it's like the old fuckers that run through what are they called? Farmers markets, and they kill like 10 people.
Yeah.
Like they never go
Oh,
to jail. They're
that's-
just like, dude, you can't drive
I
anymore.
tried to press. I tried to.
Yeah, I tried to brake, but I ran. But
Yeah, I
I ran
tried
over.
to
But I
press-
killed your kids. Yeah.
I don't understand. How do you mistake the brake for the gas pedal and then just floor it?
Do you want to
Like,
know? Do you want to know a
continually.
story? Can I tell a short
Yeah,
story?
go for it.
My publicist and manager get so pissed off when they hear
Perfect.
this, which is awesome because that's what I.
That's what we want.
So, Audie and Matt and Phil, I apologize for this story, and this happened years ago. So, there's this stuff. I don't know if you guys heard about it. I don't know what about it anymore, but back in the day, it was like in high school, it was called weed, and it was you smoked it. It was this green stuff. And like since I've like been training hard for fighting and stuff, and you know with the UFC, I wouldn't do something like that to my career or to
Not.
people around me because I think it's illegal and stuff. But I don't even know what it is anymore. So you've heard of this stuff, right?
No.
Okay, well it makes you do funny stuff. So I was in high
Called
school.
Cat.
Yeah. So, you guys know La Pinita in Hermosa Beach?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'd smoked some of this stuff because, you know, I had glaucoma and a doctor actually
Yeah.
suggested
You're
me because it was a
forced to.
one-time
Right.
it was a
Gunpoint, right.
one-time thing. And I went into La Pinita, and that's exactly what I did with my cars. I went in to La Pinita.
You drove into it.
Bro, I was in the parking lot, and I was counting pennies to see
Dude.
if I had enough to get a
Wow.
fucking
Oh, I
like,
thought they were to put in your mouth.
shredded
Hey,
taco.
But you know,
And I hit
dude,
the, and I
you
hit
know
the
how-
gas, and you know the outdoor area, like the
Yep.
outdoor seated area there in Hermosa.
Straight through it.
You know,
straight
you know
through
how
the
many
seated area.
dispensary people are totally pissed at you right now?
Yep.
Why?
Because, dude, weed's like totally mellow drug. Nobody drives into people on weed.
No, I seriously.
They say.
Yeah,
They say.
yeah. Anybody that's actually gotten high will be like, I could see that happening. I was so because there was 3 things going
Don't
through
look
my
at me.
mind. I was in high school, so I was super excited to get in there, and then I didn't put my car in fucking park. It was still in drive. And then I was like,
floored it. You floored it.
No, I was counting pennies. I don't know. I don't have motor skills when I'm high. And I was like, at fucking La Panita thinking about shredded tacos. And I drove into the fucking side. And then I did what any responsible friend would do, which is run away and then try to blame it on their friend Brendan.
That's what always happens out here
naturally.
in Torrance.
Where are we at?
Yeah, what's the next story?
Straight out of Minnetonka?
Where is Minnetonka?
I've never heard
Great
of
question.
Is that even in America?
It doesn't sound like, or maybe it's Minnesota or something.
Minnetonka. That sounds like
because it's Minnesota. Must be Minnesota.
It sounds like Canada. I think it's in Canada.
That's more.
Like
that's
same
kind
thing.
of no. It's not the same.
The same thing.
People
It's
have
cold in Canada. It's cold there.
But don't all Canadians have square heads?
I don't know.
I thought they did.
I think is that South Park or something?
I don't know. That's the only thing I know about Canada.
Go ahead and read the story, Annie.
Minnetonka principals plead, cover your butts up. Dozens of parents and high schools across the metro endorsed a Minnetonka principal's message Tuesday that discourages teen girls from wearing trendy, tight-fitting leggings with increasingly shorter tops.
Oh, you know what? I wanted to talk to you about this. This kind of leads into the story, but one thing that I can't deal with is like 400-pound women wearing yoga pants.
Oh my goodness. It's just wrong. And
I mean, I know you're like into fitness. I'm not saying everybody has to be like ripped or anything, but if you are like 400 pounds, you shouldn't be wearing
discretion.
yoga pants.
A little bit of discretion.
I completely agree.
That's offensive.
No, I completely agree. It's
where did they get in their head that this is going to be totally cool? People are going to dig this. That's where I'm lost.
Here's the thing, and like Brian will even get mad at me for this. I'm about to get in trouble for this again, and I don't mean to be racial because I don't mean to be, but like
then don't be.
I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna be.
Preemptive.
I'm not gonna
Preemptive
be. Fat white girls that wear yoga pants are
Any girls?
Fat white girls wear yoga pants and they come out of their trailer park homes. You know why? and this is bad against white people. So I mean, I guess.
But anybody, we don't dig anybody wearing that. They could be any kind of.
I feel like I'm more I feel like I'm more tolerant of like other cultures because I don't know what they're wearing theirs for.
I'm gonna veto you on that.
I know why white chicks are wearing they're like disgusting gross spandex. You know what I mean? It's because they're lazy. It's the easiest fucking thing to put on and it's comfortable for them. They don't give a fuck. And they've already got 7 kids.
I think you should
get a ticket.
I agree. It's because they don't care. They're just like, I'm gonna throw a sweatshirt on and these fucking spandex.
Dude,
you know,
it's horrible.
It's
horrible. Go read a little bit more of the story. I mean, I think they're trying to keep up with
was that just your personal opinion? Did you just throw that in the show just because you were thinking about fat chicks or Hispanics, or like I gotta fucking?
It's just that image, burned in your head.
So you just right now in the middle of Andy's story,
watch.
We're like,
Andy will continue while you be quiet, and then we'll hear more of it.
This is Sir's explanation. He's like, Andy,
go ahead,
Andy, hold on. I hate fat chicks.
Talking to the mic.
Here we go. Sparking the latest debate over what's appropriate attire in schools.
Appropriate attire.
Okay.
Did you hear that, Sean?
Okay, this is a good segue.
Continue.
Good segue.
David Adney sent an email to high school parents Monday asking them to talk to their daughters about wearing spandex like yoga pants or other tight-fitting leggings with T-shirts that expose more leg and backside, quote.
What's backside, Andy?
And can be highly distracting for other students. What is backside? From Forest Lake to St. Paul, Minnesota, more than 70 parents and other high schools called or emailed Adney supporting his message, which didn't ban leggings but urges teens to dress more modestly. It must have touched a nerve, he said, saying the school tries to get ahead of problem trends. That's it right there. Problem trends.
You mean before they hit 400 pounds?
Right.
Yeah.
That is.
I guess it's like you said. It's easily thrown on, and you head out your trailer, and you're going over Walmart.
Because that's for the fat chicks, exactly. But the thing is like that's the reason. Like if you're too lazy to put on like a decent outfit or real clothes.
Yeah, but
you're definitely too lazy to work out, so you're going to be a fat slob.
That's cool, but
you've never
just
been
put on
married,
a tent. I don't care. Like put on something that reaches your knees.
No, I've never married. On back to the story that Andy was just talking about, I think on a serious note that it is completely wrong and borderline fascist that any committee can tell what the kids can fucking wear. That's a parenting decision. If your kid's under 18, your parents have to decide what is and isn't appropriate. And
but you know what? Almost every school has some kind of dress code.
I know that.
Almost every school.
And I understand that. But what I'm saying is if your kids are going to school and they're changing outfits, like you see them leaving one thing and then a girl dresses like a slut when she gets into thing.
Happens all the time.
Which happens all the time. Then you get called into school and as a parent, your kid sits in the fucking principal's office and you go, did your kid leave the house like this? And if you let your kid leave the house like that, you're a shitty parent.
What happens to you? Nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nothing.
You don't think so?
No.
Expel the kid.
Never. They don't.
Then they don't have to deal with the parent or the kid.
Yeah.
But I'm saying they could. That nips it in the butt. Go find a different school to deal with. And if every school won't let your kid, you're going to start realizing, like, this got to stop. Or
you know what happened is some dude, somebody would just open up a school that's like a free-for-all dress code.
Oh, like a private school?
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
I mean,
Private
maybe.
school, slut school.
Full of retards.
So then they can,
Retards.
I would be at that school all the time.
Exactly.
Parked out front.
You're like, how much? You're like, can I get an application for teacher?
We have a school like that. It's called special ed.
Oh man, what else you got, Andy?
Man killed zoo monkey during a theft attempt in Boise, Idaho.
That's not cool.
A 22-year-old man clubbed a monkey to death with a tree branch after he was bitten by the animal while trying to steal it from a Boise zoo.
You know what? Sean's getting really pissed off right now, but I want him to be silent until he finishes the story because there's a lot of gnarly stuff in the story.
Michael J. Watkins entered Zoo Boise on Saturday morning.
He's the most pissed. Go ahead and keep going. No, wait, Sean. No. Wait, hold it in.
Saturday morning, manipulated a lock to get into the primate enclosure and removed the patas monkey by wrapping it in his jacket. He told police he was going to throw the monkey outside the fence. When he failed, the monkey bit him.
This is like a total genius plan. Go ahead and continue. Wait till you hear like how well thought out his plan was. Wrap up the monkey in a bundle and throw him over the fence. Go ahead and keep going.
After it bit him,
it's pure brilliance.
He was prompted to use a tree branch to bash the monkey in the head and neck.
Yeah. I mean, basically, this guy was only a tiny, tiny bit smarter than the monkey.
Only a tiny
and
bit.
that was his plan. He's going to wrap up a wild animal in a jacket and toss him over the fence like a football. So obviously the monkey didn't dig his plan, didn't go along with it, and bit the shit out of him, and so he clubbed it to death with his total monkey reaction to getting bit.
Yeah.
So there you have it. Let's hear it from a fighter's side.
I mean, I'm pretty furious.
Let's hear about that primitive urge from a fighter's side.
I hate people that steal, for one. Like one of my biggest, child molestation, rape, and like stealing are like the three things I hate more than anything.
And
like,
monkey bashing.
And monkey bashing.
So like, it's like those things. Stealing to me fucking pisses me off. Because like me, when you own a business, like you've owned business and had shit broken into. It's like, really, I work my ass off.
Or home, whatever,
and you're gonna
home or car.
And you're gonna fucking go and steal.
Yeah.
Then on top of it, you're stealing a living fucking creature. Like it's not like it's not a fucking arcade game.
Dude, what was he gonna do? He's stealing it from a zoo.
Well,
what the hell is he gonna do?
Monkey's monkey's natural defense mechanism is gonna be to bite and try and get away.
Of course.
And then for him to fucking at that point, the thing that pisses me off and why I look so pissed is because I get it. You're wasted. Like you're wasted or whatever.
I knew that you're gonna have that. That's why I picked the story.
Yeah, I was pissed because I was like, I've done some stupid.
No,
fucking
Sean's
shit.
like an animal. He likes animals.
Yeah,
so
like I like
knew
little
he was gonna
kids
get
and
pissed.
animals, and like.
Which is like a monkey kind of is both.
Yeah,
of those.
it's like both. It's a little monkey, and so like it pisses me off because it's like I've done retarded shit before, like where I've been like, oh yeah, and like I put myself in that situation. You get to the zoo, you got the monkey bundled up. You're like, I'm gonna take a monkey.
I can't even put myself.
But
in
okay, I'm doing this just to be open minded. That's why I'm so pissed off. Because I've been in shitty situations. Like people know my story.
You would think like a normal person, like maybe you or I would go. I mean, first of all, I'd never do that. But let's say for the sake of argument that we're in that position, and then you get bit. You get pissed, but then you go, okay, maybe this was a really fucking dumb
That's
idea.
my point.
Now I'm getting
why this guy's a piece of shit isn't because I'm trying to be like I've been in shitty situations before. So whenever I hear stories like this, I put myself because that could be super embarrassing for me one day, and I'm trying to explain to people
when
like I
you
don't
steal a monkey, we're gonna go off on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the guy gets wasted, 22 years old. His old frat buddies are back in town for Thanksgiving. Jumps over a fence.
No, I
has
think
a
he's actually a tweaker, and he could have been a monk.
Doesn't matter. Here's the point that really pisses me off. Is when the monkey bites you, he must have thrown it on the ground or let it go. Right. At that point, a normal person, no matter what substance you're on, goes, plan failed. I just got bit by a monkey.
Right.
Let's go. Story's over. You don't think, I'm gonna chase the fucking thing that's terrified
Yeah, I
and
was gonna
bash it with
say,
a fucking.
I'm
He's
gonna
pretty,
chase
he's
the
pretty
fucking
determined. He's pretty
Yeah.
determined if he chased down a monkey. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't think that's pretty. It's hard to catch a chicken. I can only imagine how hard it is to catch a monkey.
Yeah, and a monkey's a little defenseless creature. So for his
Well,
punishment,
they can buy it.
that's it.
They can
But
buy
a
it.
baby monkey in a cage. I think he should have to go in a cage with somebody, and he should
Yeah,
have
like-
a hand tied to his foot.
Like
And
no,
then,
no. I think that guy should just be put in a cage.
With
like
you.
and people feed him. People like,
Yeah, at the zoo.
look at him, and then it'll have like a description of his crime on the. thing.
Like you
Instead
heard
of-
about the lady that has a sign that says
Yeah, it's
only
just like that.
only an idiot would drive
Yeah.
on a
I
sidewalk
think
past
you
a
got
school
that from
bus.
our podcast.
I saw
John.
that on your
Yeah.
podcast. Actually, that's the first
See?
one I watched. See,
He
you guys are
listens. He
getting big
listens.
time.
You actually listened.
I did listen.
Nice. One of our three.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was with who was that? It was Strung Out. Who was that with?
That's a good question.
I think that was
Chris, right?
Yeah, with Chris.
Um,
I don't know.
No, so
it's all a blur.
I don't know, man. But like if
We've
you
done so many.
if you kill a monkey, I feel like killing a monkey is worse than killing like a person. Almost, because monkey's
It's
really
not-
innocent. Like monkey don't do shit to
You
people.
know what? It's
Yeah.
bad. I don't like that
Like,
either.
people
I hate it when
fucked
people
up.
like animal rights people make it sound like killing an animal is worse than killing a human.
I don't
think
know.
it's all bad.
It's all
I think
bad. It's all
all
sad.
bad.
And I don't disagree. I don't disagree. What I'm
I
saying
think
is
you're a little bit of tree
maybe,
hugger.
no, I'm
Or
not.
animal
I'm not.
rights.
PETA.
Maybe animal rights, just because like
I
an
can
animal.
see you being one of those militant animal rights groups.
No,
Get,
but
like,
yeah, kill
AK.
people. Yeah, like kill people. Kill
Yeah,
people that hit,
totally.
like you hit a dog and I fucking kill your and I kill your family.
Exactly. I can totally picture Sean do that.
People are
The
fucked.
monkey's
Like,
sitting there
monkeys just
going,
like,
"Okay, cool. Maybe I'm gonna get a banana." Whoa, wait, what's happening?
And that monkey's been held a million times by zookeepers
Exactly.
in a
He
blanket.
has
So
no
it's
idea
like,
what's
oh,
going
awesome,
on.
I'm going to get a bottle or I'm going to get to play or finger paint or some shit. And then he's throwing in the fucking
And
air.
it
He's
goes
like,
bad.
wait a second.
Just
Yeah.
goes bad.
Yeah, fuck that guy. What's that guy's name?
Andy, what are you doing?
Send me that guy's address.
Andy's on Facebook, I think.
No.
No,
This is a
That's
good one.
you porn.
I got a new one. Are we over that story?
You born?
Kind of burnt.
Yeah, we're moving on.
Okay.
Sean's sufficiently pissed.
Yeah, I'm leaving after this story. I'm
Fired
going to
up.
find this
Fired
monkey
up.
killer.
In Beijing, the online version of China's Communist Party newspaper has hailed a report by The Onion naming the North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un as the sexiest man alive. Apparently, unaware it is a satire. That's awesome.
Yeah. Do you ever read The Onion? It's pretty funny, actually.
Is
I
it?
But it's
don't.
all like fake, made up stories that are like pretty hilarious. And so one of their stories was
The son of Kim
Korean
Jong-il.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
current North Korean leader
yeah,
is the
dictator or
sexiest man
whatever, yeah.
alive, and he looks kind of like Michelin Man mixed with Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yeah,
And but Asian.
yeah.
But-
And and so they said he's sexiest man alive, and in China they had like a how many page spread on the story.
The People's Daily, which is the communist newspaper.
And they didn't realize that this was like
No,
a
they
Mad,
did. They had
a
no
Mad
idea.
magazine
Right,
ad over
right,
here.
right.
Go ahead and read it.
That's awesome.
They ran a 55-page photo spread.
That's awesome.
On its
is so
website Tuesday in a tribute to the round-faced leader under the headline North Korea's top leader named The Onion's sexiest man alive for 2012.
All right,
That's
well,
awesome.
I'm going to make a disclaimer.
55 pages, too.
I'm going to make a disclaimer right now for
You secretly like that guy?
you. No, that the guy's awesome. But when you guys, I'd have know nothing about that guy. He's probably a piece of shit like his dad. But
Fair to assume.
yeah, I'm just throwing that. I didn't want that to actually
go.
slip by.
Move on.
If any, we're gonna put this on my Facebook page or Twitter or stuff, right? The feed to this.
Yeah.
So if any of my students or anyone comes in to the compound and gives me that 50, if can eBay, I don't care how you get it, you buy that 55-page picture book of him. Lifetime
From
membership
China.
Lifetime membership to the gym. If I get that 55 pages,
That is a-
lifetime
that's
gym
a-
That's
membership.
a killer deal,
That's a
actually.
killer
But I mean,
fucking
I don't
deal.
think they have U.S. distribution at that paper, do they?
Because
Maybe they
it
do.
would be a hard thing to get for me, and it's worth
Yeah.
it to have that. And I will frame that
I will
motherfucker.
frame it.
That's awesome.
So they quoted The Onion, this Chinese newspaper. This is what they wrote. With his devastatingly handsome round face, his
That's my favorite
boyish
part.
charm, and his strong, sturdy frame, this Pyongyang-bred heartthrob is every woman's dream come true. Blessed,
Every woman's dream, is that what it
every
says?
woman. This
That's awesome.
Blessed with an air of power that masks an unmistakable, cute, cuddly side, Kim made this newspaper's editorial board swoon with his impeccable fashion sense, Chic short hairstyle,
it's
and of
like-
course that famous smile.
It's like
Of course.
it's like a all-powerful, brutal despot, but with the soft side. It's gnarly, dude.
No, it's totally true. I think he might be the sexiest man alive because, like, on
Well,
the
I mean, if you know that whole power is the biggest aphrodisiac thing is true, then
Well, like-
he's definitely rocking.
like imagine his eHarmony like profile, like Kim Jong Il, round face,
Rolling.
enjoys long walks on the beach.
Yeah, rules country.
Yeah, like likes country music and screams of infidels.
Yeah. That's awesome. What else you got?
What's next for Andy in
Florida,
Boston.
one of our favorite
This is,
states.
this is a gold mine for stories, dude.
Florida?
Yeah.
Florida and Ohio.
Let's hear what brand of crazy they got for us today.
But interjection before story. Florida was Florida's where all those people were getting eaten by other people, right? With bath
Yes.
salts. Okay, yeah,
Exactly.
so go on.
The
That's
zombie
Florida.
apocalypse.
Exactly,
Right,
Florida.
right. Okay, man was arrested for cutting almost all of his girlfriend's nose off after she refused to have sex with him, reports the Fort Lauderdale
Oh,
police.
yeah. I remember this.
Ricardo Salamanca from Plantation faces a charge of
That's a
aggravated
shock.
battery causing bodily harm and remains in jail on $75,000 bond on Wednesday. It wasn't immediately known if he had an attorney.
We don't need to hear all that stupid shit. Just tell us about the story.
I'm reading the story.
I know, but we don't need to hear if he has
Why
an
are you
attorney.
getting all pissed off
Oh.
at Andy? Andy's
Because
doing
we
his
gotta
job.
fast
He's
forward.
the
We gotta
job. Where he's
He's
gotta
supposed to
edit.
pre-scan it.
He's supposed to be an editor. With
You know what? That's
live,
exactly
live
what.
editing. Live
You know
editing.
why? Because I'm listening to him going, I'm gonna have to cut all
Yep.
this shit out.
Yeah,
It's
so
more work for me.
You're editing. You're
More work
editing
for
while
me.
he's.
You get it now?
The victim's nose was severed down to the sinus cavity, where the victim's nose was only attached by a thread. The woman identified Salamanca as the person who did this to her, authorities said. She said that she had been in a relationship with him and they lived together. That night, she had seen him at a Plantation nightclub, but went home alone. I don't think he went home alone.
No, she. I mean,
No,
she went.
she went home alone.
Okay. I'm not.
No,
what
she
it said?
thought she went home alone. He was in the trunk.
He
Yeah.
like stalked her. Or
I
something.
think that's it. Later, he knocked on the door and she let him in, but he started yelling when she would not have sexual intercourse.
It's
with him.
me from the plantation.
And he threw her
bath
down.
salts, dude.
Oh,
Florida bath
down.
salts. There you go.
Can you imagine seeing a girl in a bar? Because that's basically what this plantation
Well,
club
no,
I
they
imagine
live
is.
together, right?
Yes, they live together.
In the same house.
Yes.
Oh, that's usually how it works. I think.
But I didn't think there was a couple. They're a couple.
Yeah, they're a couple.
I'm
Gotcha.
trying to read and say what he used to cut off her nose, but it doesn't say.
Probably a utility knife. That seems to be the trend.
Probably it's Florida bitter nose off.
But my
He's a
point,
zombie.
my point is like, dude, what the hell? What I mean, that's crazy behavior.
That's brutal.
yeah.
I mean, you can just move out, right?
You could move out. You can say, "You bitch, I'm out of here." But I mean,
Go back to
attacking-
the nightclub.
slicing
Yeah.
your nose off. That seems like
She was like,
Taliban-esque. Yeah,
I don't
mean,
know, man. Like, at least
There's something going on in Florida that's not right.
At least he didn't kill a monkey.
It's not right.
At least he didn't hurt a monkey.
But there's like, there's some, I don't know if it's some explosion of a bath salt factory that just like put all that stuff in the
in
air
the
or the water or
universe, yeah,
something.
and
I
now
don't
it's just
know.
dripping down on
not
those
good.
people.
Yeah. Not good. The weird thing is like obviously there's tweakers and Oxycontin heads and stuff over here, but they're not as like industrious or something.
Yeah.
Like they don't
Yeah, like our,
they don't do all the crazy things that you hear of in Florida. Like, I'm an
our tweakers aren't
astronaut.
as educated.
I'm an astronaut, and I'm gonna buy an adult diaper and a bunch of duct tape and a hammer and a gun, and I'm gonna go after this chick and drive like for 12 hours or something. Like that doesn't seem to happen over here.
No, they're motivated. In
Yeah,
Florida.
they're like
They
really
do shit.
motivated.
They got the
out
Epcot,
of their mind.
They got the
tweakers.
Epcot Center and like
Yeah,
they
it's
got
weird, dude.
good
I don't
shit
get
going
it.
on over there to keep them
I
busy.
don't understand it, but
I,
whatever.
Whatever.
Was the chick fucked up? Is her nose really that fucked
I mean,
up?
if you slice somebody's nose off, it's probably
But my question
not
is
optimal, as
If-
Obama would say.
Here's a good question. If you are attacked like that and you don't have insurance, does like our taxpayer money fix her nose or shit?
Probably,
sure.
yeah.
So she's gonna benefit from this guarantee.
Somehow.
Well, I don't think that's a benefit.
Yeah.
I do.
You know how they grow a nose? They put it on your forehead.
Shut
and turn
up.
around backwards. So I don't think that's a benefit.
Wait,
You're
what?
so-
So
You
you're
just made
cruising
that up.
around, and
You're
then
making
when it grows and it fills out, then they put it back on like
Shut
where your nose.
up.
is.
You just made that up.
Nope.
I
did not.
find that
I-
extremely
Don't
hard
ask me
to
how
do.
I know that, but
You're pretty smart.
No, I know
Is that true?
Yeah.
Is that true? Somebody
Andy doesn't
answer.
know those kind of
I-
stuff.
yeah.
It's like
I don't
like
have that much time to read on the internet.
Specialized
Things like
knowledge.
That's what you do.
Specialized knowledge.
That's your fucking job.
Part-time.
All right, so
I got a question for you.
For me.
Yes.
Yes.
How did you decide to
beat the crap out of people?
Or professionally get punched in the face? Because that never sounded like a good idea to me.
Well, the plan was never to get. The plan was never to get.
Well,
punched.
it's never the plan.
I think
When
the-
I sat down in front of my
thing
mirror when I was a
there-
little
yeah, the
boy,
thing there is
I didn't
Andy's-
picture a fist in my face.
exactly.
Just like hitting me
Andy's
over and
going,
over.
well, I think you're looking at it wrong, Andy, basically.
I might be.
It's not the focus
Right.
of what
but
Sean's trying
it's
to do.
inevitable, right?
All right.
Yeah.
Here's.
I mean, you're fighting.
You're asking why I got into mixed martial arts and cage fighting, which is a pretty brutal sport.
Right. I
Who would
enjoy
wanna get in
watching
that?
it,
I
but
appreciate that.
I do not enjoy getting punched in the face.
I'll give
That's
you
probably why you're not a fighter.
exactly.
the abridged version,
Yeah.
because I've known Darian for fucking 15 years. The abridged version. My dad got me involved in martial arts when I was 5 years old, and so it was always wrestling, boxing, football, sports. So that was always natural for me. And then I was, fortunate enough to where my dad was working with this Gracie family when I was 10 years old with the LAPD, teaching this hand-to-hand combat. And so I was exposed to this Gracie jiu-jitsu, and they were telling me, hey, there's this big idea for this big fighting tournament we're going to do. And it has nothing to do with seeing who the best fighter is. It's just going to prove that jiu-jitsu can fuck everyone else up and we're going to get rich.
Yeah.
And like that
And
was
we're
their
gonna get
idea.
rich.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's what they did.
Totally.
And they admit that, And so I was fortunate enough to be commingled with them and some boxers, and Bob Bass, the first American to ever get his black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and these people in the South Bay, daring me, like, same thing with music and like punk rock and stuff, like originated kind of in Hermosa Beach in the South Bay. So the people that were here were fortunate to be here. Just like fighting, we're so lucky that like all the best boxers and jiu-jitsu guys just came here because they want to live in a nice area by the beach from Brazil and from Vegas.
Exactly.
And so we kind of lucked out. Same with the entertainment industry where we are. When I made the choice when I was a teenager, I want to be a fighter, I had all the best people and best training partners at my disposal. And then I would do the band stuff and have fun and surf and skateboard and hang out there and everything. And I always kind of go back to fighting in between whatever.
Right.
You know what? That leads me to what I wanted to ask you about is like, I mean, at that time, you're kind of like spread out. You're doing different stuff like trying to be in a band and doing whatever. But I want to talk about the point at which you went, okay, now I'm getting super serious, and you developed that total laser focus that's needed for any elite athlete.
Yes.
I had my daughter.
Okay.
There you go.
I had a little girl, and
you go.
I decided like I got to start knocking everyone out.
I gotta start
like,
knocking
never lose.
everyone out.
And
So
be
there's just
entertaining.
some point. I mean, there's some point where you said, okay, now I'm going to get super serious, cut out all the other extraneous crap.
To
and
answer that
focus on this.
question, here's what I thought to myself. You in my head, and this is when I was like 19 probably,
Right.
were even involved in the decision too, because I got some different talents and whatnot, and I'm intelligent and go to school. And so I was like, what am I really going to do now? I know Darian and me and him are close friends, and I got this little band going that's decent,
Right.
and Darian could help me and maybe make this to where I could provide for my daughter. But then I was like, besides me and a good engineer, producer, or friends or whatnot, I had to deal with fuck ups, like 4 guys, and I love the guys, and they're still friends and like family, and they're talented, good guys.
Yeah,
but
it's
like,
hard to get
fuck,
musicians
man.
that are serious.
And to get
like-
them to be as serious as me
Right.
for my daughter would be impossible.
Right.
And then my other talent was I could really fight well, and I was undefeated as a fighter, and like I was always
and
bouncing back and forth.
like you started super young. A lot of people might not know that, but
Yeah, I started fighting 13 years old, fighting,
Nice.
guys that were 29 years old, 14, fighting 25-year-olds and stuff.
Wow.
So it was kind of like, here's my road. What are my advantages of taking the fight road? And what are my advantages to take, music or some other road or business or school or
Right,
whatnot?
right.
And then I was like, this sport's going to explode. And it's just me. I'm
you
going to have
kind
my
of saw that from the inside too. Like you saw these people coming together, and you go, "There's a lot of potential here."
Yeah, exactly. I saw the business explosion about to happen, and then I knew the nice thing was if I knocked people out, which was all based on my training and my experience and my coaches, which I knew were capable enough to make me a world champion. Sparring with Anderson Silva and working with Freddie Roach and Wildcard, and then Bob Bass and Vladimir Mitroshenko, the best people in the world. And I knew how I did against them. 18, 19 years old, and these guys are grown men, and they're like, keep with this sport.
Right.
Then I decided, this is just me. I got no one else to blame.
That's
And my
that's
my
good.
daughter has no one else to look up to. So I've got to look in the mirror and let it all go and let my hands go and beat some people up.
The thing about this sport is you can totally rely upon yourself to make it happen, and not
You also wanted to make sure your daughter never got a date by the time she was old enough to date.
yeah. That's gonna be a rough one.
Yeah.
She's gonna hate you, dude.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Yeah, she's
But,
gonna be
talk
the
a little bit about like the training you went through once you got really like super serious about it. You kind of tend to sidetrack shit.
Yeah, the way focus training was just a matter of like making sure that you're sparring with the best people, traveling all through. I mean,
You were always gone. Like
I
I would text you and you're like, "Oh, I'm in Minnesota or whatever." Crazy.
Yeah, I was going all over the world. Thank God I had good sponsors. And then anytime I'd win a fight, I separated that from my money. I was like a personal trainer at Bally's and 24-hour fitness and doing all kinds of side jobs, fucking cleaning porta potties, and any little side job. That's what paid for my life.
Right.
Like for my food and my daughter and shit like that. And my fighting money, I said, fighting money is going to be reinvested into me, which means going to Boston to train with Jorge Rivera and Kenny Florian at Sit Yad Tong with Mark De La Grati and some of the best coaches, going to Colorado and train with these guys, going to Texas, going to, Vegas and up to LA and Brazil and Thailand and whatnot, and traveling the world with my money and making that investment into myself to be a better fighter. And once I started becoming better and better and getting recognized, then I realized, like you said, it's all on me. First time I lost a fight or second time I lost a fight, it's a real big realization. You're like, fuck, man, the whole world's looking at you. You're live on TV, and it's a big blow to your ego. You get beat up in front of your friends. Like, you're like, fuck that.
Not optimal.
Not optimal at all. Can't win every fight, sweetheart.
Yeah.
There's already somebody bigger and better.
You are going to learn a life lesson.
Yeah.
Life lesson
And
number one.
And that's that talk. You never want to have to do. She's looking at you like you're Superman.
Right,
and you're like,
Talk about a little bit about what you're doing now. Now you're helping a bunch of other fighters.
Now I'm helping
in multiple ways, right? Because you're training and you're managing, and
it's so rewarding. And this sounds so corny, but you especially know, because I think being a coach and a manager is in the same area as you, like an engineer and a producer.
There's some kind of satisfaction you get when people go, I get it.
That's my point. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like when you make music and they hear it and they're like, oh, fuck, we did this because you helped us do this.
Right.
And you just knew, hey, I've got to add these.
I'm sure those kids are stoked when they win a fight and you've trained them, for how long, and they go, wow, I really made it.
Brian Canberra has his first amateur fight coming up at Epic at 4th and B in San Diego. He's trained really fucking hard, right? And it's his first fight. When I break down, technique to him, I could tell in his eyes, he's like, I had no idea it was this technical. And when in January, when he wins his fight, and I knew I took him from 0 to this, and you see him with his hand raised and his friends and his family and his girlfriend and his mom, and like he was just something that you molded, like those styles, those techniques, but he utilized it and did the work. That's pride. Just like a band when they create an awesome album, it's pride,
Check this out. Like, how do you see potential in guys when, like, more than just having the enthusiasm? How do you see something and you go, this guy actually has some kind of talent? Like, is there something that you can pinpoint?
This is so awesome that you asked that question, because, by the way, I've done a million fight interviews in my career, obviously with the UFC and Ultimate Fighter stuff and Bellator and all these big organizations, and that's the best question I've probably ever been asked. Nobody ever asked that. How do you see that in somebody else? The way I describe it is, and like I said, I do like animals and stuff, so I'm not about stuff like this. But
sounds like it's going to take a turn for the worse.
No, I went to a dog fight. I went to a dog fight a couple months ago.
Oh my god!
I went to a fucking dog fight.
But you're an animal lover.
How was Michael Vick?
Yeah.
So I was in Mexico. Oh, I didn't know there was going to be a dog fight there.
Oh, okay.
I was in Mexico. We were there for boxing, but weird shit happens in Mexico.
So they have like the dogs are the opener.
The dog.
That's the
No, bro. There's organizations I've been like in the
chicken, then the dog, then the human.
No, in the Philippines, I fought after a dog fought 6 rats.
No way.
And the rats won. The rats killed the dog.
What?
And so
in Philippines.
Which
That's
rat did you have to fight?
No, it wasn't like that, obviously. But we fought on the same dirt that they were on. It was disgusting.
Insane, dude.
So here's a quick story about, back to your question about if you know fights in somebody, and there's a perfect metaphor. And I hate thinking about this because I was down there. We're seeing boxing matches and some MMA. They had a fucking dog fight, and
Are you going to bring this back to?
They do this thing called scratching, right? Where a dog tries to fight another dog, and sometimes the dogs will just lie over. Like they'll start these dogs and they'll just lie on the ground, and then they'll pull them away. They won't let the dogs fight because the dog's like, fuck this.
Right.
Sometimes the dogs will jump at each other.
Because if two dogs, because dogs have a hierarchy. So
Alpha male,
if one dog is
superior.
Exactly.
So, like your question, so this thing happened, and I was a little bit disturbed by the whole situation, but I'm like there, so I'm watching because I like to experience things.
It's like
I'm
a bad car crash. You've got to watch it.
You know, and so these two dogs jump at each other, and this one dog rips off this other dog's cheek and shoulder, and they pull him away, right?
That's hideous.
And all these guys go over this, and the dog
Did you really
handler
have to
on the dog.
incorporate
Listen.
the story
The dog handler.
Answer the question.
The dog handler goes over, and there's pieces of wood on the ground across from each dog's. And when the dogs run at each other and they hold the collars, they call it scratching because the dog scratched the wood. Right? And this dog had its face ripped off and its chest ripped off, and it was scratching the wood trying to get at the other dog, and they're breaking them up like this dog's about to die. We got to patch him up because they don't want a dog to die. Then all these Mexican dudes and white dudes go over to that guy, his handler, and said, "We want to breed with your dog. We'll give you $5,000, $10,000 to breed your dog." And this dog's all bloody. And I look at my buddy, TJ, and I go, "That dog just got fucked up by that other dog. Why doesn't everybody want to breed with that dog?" And he goes, "That dog's got dead game." And I go, "What do you mean?" And when I learned this, I relate it to my fighters. He goes, "That dog is game till it's dead. You can rip its heart out, rip its brain out, rip its teeth out. It's going to scratch on that thing until it falls over." He goes, and they want to breed it with a dog that has dead game. And that's how you see it in a fighter, is when I go in there with the guy in my cage or my ring.
Yeah.
I try and knock him the fuck out.
You really, like, even brand new guys, you're just going for it, full blast?
I mean, just
to see, like, how they're going to react to it?
A guy that's been training a couple years or something, that's sparring. Perfect example, Brian, for his fight. Went in there, getting ready to spar, knocked him unconscious. He needed a bunch of stitches above his eye. He was unconscious for, a minute or two, and then he had a concussion for 2 weeks. But every day he was like, "When can I spar again? When can I get back in there?"
So when that guy brings you that 55-page storybook and gets a free lifetime membership, you're going to knock him out on day one.
No, I'm not going to try it. No, not day one. Just like I said, it's 6 months a year. But no, for like you said, the guys that want to fight. It's never a day one thing. You don't know day one.
Right.
But you find that guys that have that dead game.
Because you know what? Everybody says, "Dude, I totally want to do this. There's some guys that you're going to go, this guy can take it somewhere."
Well, the guys with, like I just said, that dead game, where when you get the shit kicked out of them by UFC fighters, high-level fighters, and they're 6 months in, a year in, so they shouldn't be in there with these guys, but they're volunteering to get in.
They just get annihilated, and then their first word is like, "When can we do this again?"
They wipe their blood away, dude. And they're like, "That's what I want," you know? And they get knocked unconscious, and they're like, "Thanks, dude." And like,
but then there must be something aside from that, though, like physical ability, also, right? That's tied into that.
I don't think so.
Really? Is that a trainable thing? Like,
really?
No,
not.
I mean, you can't take somebody like
thing.
Andy and make him into like a.
If Andy had,
Thank you.
I know this sounds lame, but if Andy had like
put on 200 pounds of muscle, Andy, we'll talk.
If Andy had like that dead game, that killer instinct, absolutely. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, absolutely.
Without like a robotic like exoskeleton.
You're so fucking mean, Andy. No, it's not about. It's just about the size. It's really, really, really is the size of the fight in the dog with any fighter. It doesn't.
Cool.
You're gonna get in shape, and guess what? In mixed martial arts, everybody's in shape.
Right.
Everybody can fight. Everybody knows a fucking arm bar. Everybody knows a rear naked choke and a head kick. You all know the same shit.
So Sean,
there's some little better athletes.
Is that like? Yeah, I mean, there's is the level like really close? So a lot of times when guys lose, is it actually a mistake kind of thing? It's not like you weren't trained at a competitive level because they're all trained about the same level.
At the level I'm at, yeah. When you're at the top level of sport, when you're in the top 100 guys in the world, and everybody's
it's more about just somebody made a mistake, like they slipped up or
a mental mistake.
And you saw an
capitalized.
You saw a little spot and got in.
Yeah. You just capitalized and took over. And same thing when you lose. Now, when you start to get into the lower levels, the amateur levels or up and comers, there's big
more
difference.
Training disparity,
huge disparity, but that's when you see exciting stuff happen.
Really, this one guy just gets pounded,
fucking head kicked off into the.
But I mean,
front
for
row.
me, like obviously I'm not as into it as you, but I like to watch a more evenly matched fight than just some guy get pummeled.
I completely agree. Like I want to fight people that have.
And you're
beat
probably
big
watching
name
it
people.
on a different level than me, like a record producer or engineers listening to music on a different level. I'm sure you're watching fights going, "Oh, that's that hold. He should have taken that opportunity." Like you're watching it on a totally different,
especially being a coach,
brain level than we are. Yeah,
yes.
Especially being coach. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like you with music, and we've talked this in the past. You get so irritated. You're like, man,
why didn't he take that opportunity?
These guys could be such a good band. Like that was awesome, and then they fucked it up by doing this. Or like same thing with a fight. Like, man, this guy could be so good, but he just fucks up, or his coach is fucking him up. You know, you
Right.
see that all the time too.
So is that how much is it the fighter making mistakes? How much of it is it his coaching isn't totally top notch?
I think the reason fighters make mistakes is because their coaching isn't top notch.
See, that's heavy.
That
There you
is.
go.
You know?
a little tip for all of both listeners out there.
Yeah, pretty much for all three of you.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Let me give a
You want
quick.
to go ahead
Yeah,
and
some
plug
people you
your,
gotta
the
thank.
compound a little bit.
Yeah, give a
And,
quick shout out to you guys. Obviously, now you guys, like I said, Alan Roach, pro boxer.
Yeah, he was supposed to come today, right?
He was supposed to come today, and he had some issues with his child, so we're gonna have to get him on
Which
some
is
other.
why I
Is
was
everything
late.
cool with that? Is
Everything's
all
cool. Yeah,
Okay,
his kid's
good.
cool. He's just dealing with a bunch of issues on that, so family issues. But he said that he definitely wants to get on the show before his fight in January.
Killer.
So that'd
Yeah,
be real
It's
cool.
always well. Any of you guys are welcome, and you're welcome back, man. It's great having you up. It's killer.
Definitely. Hey, Andy's shaking his boots right now. He's like,
Yeah.
I hope this guy doesn't keep coming over here.
I
'cause
was gonna say
Sean knows how to read and talk at the same
Yeah,
time.
my job's not secure, obviously.
No, but I really do appreciate both of you guys doing this. And I fucked up by being 4 days late, so I appreciate you
No,
letting
it's
me
all good,
come up to
dude.
the pad and do it. And I just want to give a quick shout out to some of my sponsors and whatnot.
Whatnot.
My management company, Paradigm
Hey,
Sports
let me
Management.
pause you for a second. What is this whatnot phenomenon? Both of you guys do that all the time.
I was just mimicking
It's a
it.
phenomenon.
Is that a
I work with the
Midwestern
Texan
thing?
I work with the Texan now. And that's all I hear all day long. Is whatnot. So
Is
I'm
it-
really aware of.
That's really
Well, my
weird.
family is
interesting.
from Texas.
Oh,
Well, not
okay.
originally,
So it must be
but now
Texas.
they live in Texas, so
There you
I
go.
get a lot of the Texas back. But I think the whatnot for me is
Whatnot.
it's a scapegoat. So then if I forget a sponsor, I go, oh, I said my sponsors and whatnot. Like that was supposed to be
Maybe
you.
you know what? I think you should start a company called Whatnot.
Whatnot.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's your
I-
next
I'm
fighting
too-
clothing
I'm too-
company.
I couldn't even make our interview on Wednesday. I'm 4 fucking days late. You want me to start a new company?
Okay, go
I'm,
ahead.
at your,
Plug
I'm
your,
in your house in the
plug
fucking
your
rain.
sponsors and Whatnot.
They're gonna love this. They're gonna love this. People have already turned off the show by this point.
Exactly. That's why I
have
gotta edit all
I
this
have
out.
no. Yeah, let's put this question at the front. At the
That's
beginning of the show.
exactly it. Who would you like to thank?
So yeah, because they're actually listening to the show. Third Street Tattoo, Jeremy
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
Jeff Tillman, all those
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
I know they're all listening to the
And then
show.
aren't you involved in the gym that's right near there?
Yeah, South Bay Jiu-Jitsu is next door to
Yeah,
Third Street
okay.
Tattoo on Pacific Coast Highway, and I know those guys are watching too, or listening, I should say too. So all those guys love your show. So I want to thank Third Street Tattoo. They're a really, really cool tattoo company for the people in this area. Come by there or South Bay Jiu-Jitsu to hang out with me. And then on top of that, there's a couple of companies that have really stuck by me. My management company, Paradigm Sports Management, and Audiatar have stayed with me. Anybody in the industry that's looking for a break, that's a pro fighter, hit them up. Not a lot of companies are going to stick with you for a year injury in the
Yeah.
UFC
Yeah, that's
and still
true,
get you
man.
interviews and still get you sponsors.
To keep you relevant.
Keep you relevant and keep you in the light, and that's huge. And so I really appreciate them and Crossfire Media for doing that. And besides all that, I just want to thank my friends, my family, the compound, my gym down in Oceanside where you got to go, and all my dad and my mom and the people supportive of me through the holiday season. Happy holidays to everybody that listens to Of Muse and Men. My girlfriend Stephanie,
Both of them.
Dude, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna chill. You go ahead and just
Brian-
write it out.
Brian Camber and Nick Kaluza get their epic fight, and yeah, to all the people listening, I'll finish the show for Darren.
how
This
much-
has been Of Muse and Men.
How much you're in Oceanside most of the time, but how much you up here at South Bay Jiu-Jitsu?
Every Wednesday, I'm usually up here, unless
Every
I'm
Wednesday.
flaking on an interview for
Unless you're
Of Muse and
supposed to do this podcast,
Yeah,
and then
that's
you go,
just
I'm
is
not coming.
very,
And then
very
I just arrive
important.
at the studio. But every Wednesday you can come by there, and yeah. Besides that, come by and hang out. It's a cool little area to kick it in. And Darren, we
And
go
get
down
knocked.
there.
It's a great place to get knocked out.
It's a
It
great
is.
place to get
Like
knocked out.
I would say it's one of the better places you could wake up in.
Wake up.
Which is what will be going on. But yeah, everybody check me out on Facebook or Twitter, Sean the Destroyer Loeffler. I'll hit everybody up on there. And if anybody wants to, come down to the
Do you have
gym.
a handler, or are you actually doing your own Twitter?
Both.
Nah,
Actually.
You got a
the
little
truth
bit of
comes out.
Kardashian going on.
Yep.
I do both. I will probably respond to you. If you write something personal where you want me to respond back, I'll probably respond. If you write a question or my kid likes you and was
People
wondering,
give you like technical stuff on there. Like, do they ask you like really technical stuff or not really?
bro, I get
Just
like
shout out.
I get like 1,100 messages a day.
a
for-
day.
What?
Bro,
You
for
need a
sh-
handler.
You
for-
need to-
and I get questions like in an amateur fighter in Indiana that's 3-3 that lost his last fight by decision will hit me up and break down his whole fight and be like, and I know I probably went wrong here in this situation. What do you think I should do? There's a link to my YouTube video. Like, I'm so fucking.
I don't have time for that, dude.
But the thing is, it's like at the same time, it's flattering that like a young fighter looks up to you, the UFC fighter's like, man, I want. So it's like cool for me.
Do you try to respond to those guys?
And I try to, and then I'll try and write them up real quick, you know, and say something to them. But it's tough, and I feel bad. And right now I've got a stack, and I want to say sorry, people. So for those people that have sent me pictures, and for me to sign, I know that I've got like 57 pictures to all those people. I'm getting them out this week. And I'll throw a T-shirt in there too.
The check is in the mail.
The check is in the mail.
Under the bus. Amusing man just rolled over the destroyer. No, but thank you guys again.
Dude, thank you, man. Thanks for that. Like, I think this is the longest drive up so far.
I know
that
is that's on a Sunday.
Yeah.
That's commitment.
Well,
I like it.
I flaked on you guys, so I appreciate it.
No.
You guys have a good show.
Yeah.
Thank you.
do now.
We do now.
Awesome.
All right. Well, we're out. Thanks to Sean for coming down. Andy?
Yeah. Good show.
Give us the rundown. Facebook,
of
Twitter,
Muse and Men. I still don't know how to get to that our page, but I guess you just search it, right? Of Muse and Men on Facebook.
The Facebook page?
Yes.
Yeah, you can search it.
It's Twitter at Of Muse and Men. Gmail. We need some emails.
What is it?
It's ofmuseandmen@gmail.com.
There you go.
Cool. And then get this on my page ASAP.
Obviously.
I
mean, dude, yeah, you got more than 2 fans, so we need you.
Get this on my page and whatnot.
Yeah, and whatnot. That should be the title of the show.
And whatnot.
All right, we're out. Thanks for listening. See you next time.
2 weeks.
Peace.
See you.